Hey, this is Wileen Benson, and you are on the Daily Gratitude Call, where we start every day in gratitude. Gratitude is the highest energy state that we can be in. It creates a frequency of positive vibration that attracts positive experiences into our lives. Hey everybody, this is Wileen Benson. This is our Daily Gratitude Call. I'm super excited for what we get to learn today on this call. This is a mastermind. It's a really powerful way to start your day. If this is the first time that you're joining our podcast, I want to welcome you and encourage you to continue to be here every day. I'm really just more and more grateful every day as things are evolving and happening in our world today with just, this self-quarantine that we've been asked to do. I've heard stories and comments and on social media and personally, texts that I've received, even, comments that were made before we started the recording today for those who are live here on the call about the changes and the new perspective and increased relationships and things like that have been happening because of this kind of forced being together in your house with your family and forcing ourselves to find new ways to enjoy ourselves, entertain ourselves, whatever. It's actually there's like a lot of really good that's coming out of this. And today, for our focus, our gratitude focus, we're going to be starting a timer in just a minute to focus on privately for 90 seconds on a subject. And the subject I've chosen today is gratitude for being poised for growth. And as I mentioned before, right now in this time, we've been kind of forced into a different situation than we have been in the past. And I'm feeling, at first it might have been a little bit rocky, but I'm actually feeling like people are starting to settle in and be kind of in a place where they're starting to look up and look out and, look for positive opportunities for growth. And so I'm excited to see what we get to learn for yourself individually, and then also when we open it up for shares after this 90-second private meditation, what we get to learn from each other. So gratitude for being poised for growth, 90-second private meditation. Just write down whatever comes to you. Begin. All right. I'm really grateful. It's been a couple of weeks at least that we've been in this kind of self-quarantine. And I feel like we're kind of getting settled and comfortable into this. Anytime you were asked to step outside of our comfort zone, whether it's something that we choose because we want to level up our lives, or if because of, something that's happening outside of us, a job change, whatever, just anything that happens on the outside that sort of forces us into change, to being in a different position. There's a minute, after we step outside of that comfort zone where we're like, I don't know what to do. This is uncomfortable out here. But then it kind of gets comfortable if we allow ourselves to just sit in that for a little bit, even allow the fear for a bit, and realize that we didn't die and we're still here, and we still got resources available to us. We still have people around us that can support us, and there's a whole ton of new opportunities out here that we hadn't experienced in the comfort zone that we were in before. And I kind of feel like that's where we're at right now, is we've stepped outside of our comfort zone of being able to just go and here and there, everywhere, whenever we wanted to. And we're starting to be a little bit settled and comfortable in this. We've kind of expanded our comfort zone to be comfortable now just being home and finding new ways to connect with people and to influence people. I have some other things, but I think I'm going to stop there and see what else everybody else has to share. Who else has something they'd like to share?
I'll share.
Okay, thanks, Melissa.
So I liked your point of view. Mine's a little different. I felt like we can always grow, no matter what situation we're in. If we choose growth, then that's an option. But when we're in these kind of circumstances where it feels so negative, we're kind of pushed more to either grow or shrink.
Mm-hmm.
So even though we always have the choice for growth, it just now feels so much more imminent. So that was my thought.
Yeah, and we do have the choice to grow or shrink. It might be uncomfortable. That growth might be uncomfortable, and it'd be like, quit pushing me. But all of you on this call, I know, are those types of people who, whatever your situation is, you're going to choose growth. We definitely could choose to shrink. But I know all of you are choosing to grow in this. Thank you. Who else?
Can I talk?
Yeah, thanks, Phil.
So I thought of the word poised, and then I thought of a gargoyle sitting on the outside of the structure. But a gargoyle is fixed in its place, and so to be poised doesn't really mean to be fixed in your place. It means to be ready. Just means to be ready to be influenced in one way or another. And so as I'm poised, I'm paying attention, and I am on the verge of taking action, just waiting. So that's what I thought about.
Yeah, that's an interesting perspective. I think of a gargoyle that's like squatted down, like ready to spring. They usually have wings, and yeah, they are definitely fixed there. They're made out of stone. But even that visual of being ready to spring with your wings kind of folded right now, but as soon as you're ready to, as soon as you spring, those wings unfold. That's a really cool visual. Thanks, Phil. Who else has something they'd like to share?
I'll share.
Okay, is that Tammy?
Tammy. Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
So I looked up the word poised in the dictionary, and one definition that really stood out to me was to become drawn up into readiness. And I love that, because to me, that really, it helps me, it makes me think of that it's not all me, that God definitely has a part in that, and that he is there to draw us up, to lift us up into a place where we are ready to experience change and growth. And I really like that definition.
Beautiful. Thank you. So all of the preparation that goes into being ready is part of being poised. When you think of like the word poise, I volunteered for a few years, I think about 6 years, in the a local pageant here. And this was when I was back in my Mary Kay days, and helped them with, I was a hostess for one of the contestants. They assigned volunteers to be hostess for the each of the contestants, to kind of give them somebody to go to if they needed help. And that word poise is very, I think of like standing tall and confident, and projecting this image of cool confidence. But I know on the inside, these girls were like super nervous and scared, and there was so much emotion underneath the surface that they were trained to really present this calm, confident demeanor in front of the judges. And that kind of fits, that God can draw us up into readiness. We might not even feel like we're ready. We might feel like we're being pushed into it, but there's a calmness, I think, that happens when we bring God into the picture and allow him to, we know that he's part of that preparation. Thank you. I think there's somebody else that wanted to share.
I'd like to say something.
All right, Daniel.
I'm kind of like poised for the good old days, looking backwards and just reminiscing as to how good it was. When in reality, I realized, it wasn't all that good. But it was, it was like comforting in the sense that it was, sameness. Growth is the opposite, and to be poised for growth is, as you mentioned, is we're ready to, you're just ready in all senses of the word. Anyway, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, having poise, you definitely be poised in something because you are really super confident in it. There are things, I'm sure we can look within each of our ourselves, and there's things that we're already good at, things we can look back and say, wow, I mastered that. But then poised for growth really connotes stepping into the unknown, doing something, like being ready for to be not very good at something. And so yeah, we could always just continue to be the same. We could always be poised in something, or we can be poised for growth and allow ourselves that opportunity to not be good at something. Any last thoughts before we shift over to our permission process?
I could share. It's
Okay.
Sean.
Thanks, Sean.
Just when you were talking kind of about the quarantine and opportunity for growth for that, it kind of just reminded me of Nelson Mandela's story of like having his own quarantine in prison, and and that opportunity, he grew into the person that became the president of the country, where a lot of people in that opportunity would crumble and, grow more on the criminal side when they're in that kind of environment. So
wow, thank you.
Some overlap of that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so awesome. I know Paul in the Corinthians, all those letters were written from prison, and I know, from reading those letters, that he didn't think he was doing anything. He did not know that those letters were so powerful, were really what the people were holding on to. And we have no idea, just the little tiny things that we're doing, even in this time of the world's history where we're not like physically in contact with a lot of people. You think about like somebody standing on stage and influencing thousands of people. We don't know, but what the little tiny things that we're doing is making a huge difference, like these people. I was inspired over the weekend to create, and I'm going to be starting today. I have one video already done, to do a series of videos. My intention is to do them daily, just to post them on social media. I'm calling it the Safeguard series, because I know that's what people are really looking for, is some way to feel safe, some way to feel safeguarded. And I just, over the weekend, wrote a whole list of ways that people can feel that way just by living your purpose. And so that series is going to be starting today, and we'll be going out on a daily basis. And I don't know who's going to hear that, who's going to, be influenced by it, but I was inspired to do it. So I know that it's something that I need to do. And even if it just serves one person, it's important for me to do that. And I encourage you all, because I know you all are those same types of people that you have the ability to influence, and just asking, in your daily GPS, and maybe even that's what we can focus on today, is, what's your part? What's one thing you can do to help other people be poised for growth? In fact, let's go ahead and shift into our permission process right now. Let's just take a deep breath. And just getting into a space of calm and just being open to receive, poised for growth. Take one more deep breath. And just being, maybe not visualize yourself as a gargoyle, but being kind of in that space of being positioned where you have been prepared. Every single one of you listening to my voice, everyone who is listening to this podcast, if you are here, this is your time. This is an opportunity right now for you to be poised for growth, where you're standing at the ready. Your wings are maybe folded right now, but as soon as you're ready to leap forward, those wings will open up, and that you will be carried and lifted, as Tammy had mentioned, drawn up into readiness. Just take another deep breath, and just envision yourself as that beautiful person, ready, poised for growth, poised for influence, ready to be influenced, and then also to influence. And the question I have for you is, what is my part? How can I serve? What is the most important way that I can serve during this time when people are looking, when people are seeking and searching for stability in uncertainty? What is one way that I can serve, that I can be just an example of stability? And even beyond being an example of stability, what is one way that I can serve that will allow others to be poised for growth? And as you're understanding what your part is, also be listening for any limiting beliefs that might be coming up about you being poised for growth and actually taking action, actually unfolding your wings and taking a leap. What is the limiting belief? And as you're getting more clear with that limiting belief, also be aware of the cost that is attached to that limiting belief. If you hold on to that limiting belief, what will that produce for you? What will the effect be for yourself and for others if you keep that limiting belief? And if you, now that you're becoming more aware of that limiting belief and the cost that's associated with it, you can keep that limiting belief, or you can give yourself permission to choose a new belief that will create a different outcome. And if you're ready to let that limiting belief go and choose a new belief, say yes.
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 Awesome. So what are those new beliefs? Let's choose 2 or 3 new beliefs that will take the place of that old limiting belief. Let it go, and will empower you to be able to take that leap, to move forward, to step into, to leap into growth, and in a way that will help others to become poised for growth, lift them up to be poised for growth. What are your new beliefs that will empower you to be able to take action on this next step that you're aware of the way that you can influence, that you can be of powerful influence and a facilitator of growth for others during this time? What are your new beliefs? And I invite you to look over that new belief, that list of new beliefs that you've created for yourself. And again, envisioning yourself as that person that is poised for growth, poised to leap forward, to unfold your wings, to go forth and spread the whatever it is that is yours to take action on. Go forth and spread that to lift others, to help prepare them for readiness, help them become poised for growth. And just envision yourself ready and allow those new beliefs to become the fuel, the wind beneath your wings, whatever it is that feels right for you. Bring those new beliefs into that picture to give you the power and the confidence and the courage to be able to step forward, to leap forward, and to go forth and serve. And just write down any new thoughts that are coming to you about what you are understanding, the knowledge about yourself, understanding that you have about your place in this time, how you get to serve, the importance of allowing yourself to make the choice to grow instead of shrink, to lead the way in this evolution of our earth right now, to lead the way. In a moment, I'm going to open it up for some shares. I think this is a really great position for you to consider having a 15-minute call with me. If you are struggling at all with this, if you're holding back at all, I encourage you to go to askwylene.com and schedule a time to have a chat with me, because this vision that you've received, this is true. This is specifically for you. And if you receive this vision today, it is time for you to step into it. You are ready. You may not feel completely ready, but you're never going to feel ready for something that you've never done before. This is an opportunity for you to step forward and to master whatever this skill is, or this way that you're going to influence. It's time for you to step forward in that. And if you're hesitating at all, just go to askwylene.com and schedule that 15-minute call with me. Who has something they would like to share about their experience today? Well, I'm going to go ahead and share a couple more thoughts from the beginning of our call then, when I was on my doing our private meditation. And that is that I see that our whole world is working together, battling a common enemy. And as to my knowledge, this is the first time that this has ever happened, that every single country, all the laboratories, scientists, everybody is working together to find a cure and a vaccine against this virus that is affecting every single country. And to me, that is like the first step to us all becoming one family, one in Christ, one in the divine, eternal scope of things. And I'm grateful. And I'm also grateful to be a part of that. I know there have been a lot of people who have been shifting the way that they do business to try to, kind of capitalize on the events of the day, which I don't blame them. And I think that, we all need to find a way for us to continue to not just survive, but to thrive in this time. The inspiration that I received over the weekend is to just give my all, just to give it all, to give everything that I know to help people feel at ease and comfortable. And that's what I received over the weekend, was to give everything that I know that is helping me to be in this space of calm, to help other people to be in that space of calm as well. Are there any last thoughts before we end our call today? Daniel and then Mary.
Just quickly, I just want to thank you for what you just said. I kind of thought about like lying, how it just destroys us. If we can't trust each other because we tend to hide behind whatever. And so I was just thinking along the same lines, being trustworthy and transparent, and so people can just see you and know that they can trust you, and that whatever you tell them is your best. Thank you.
Wow, beautiful. Thank you. I appreciate that, Daniel, because being in this different space where we're not in front of each other all the time, I know that a lot of times when we're in someone else's presence, we kind of put our guard up, and there's only certain things that we want people to see. This is a really beautiful opportunity for us to completely let that guard down. That we're not, we're in a completely different place, and to just be transparent, to be 100% real. Beautiful. Thank you. Mary.
Yeah, there are days when you feel like you're ready, and then there are days that you think that I don't know enough. I'm it's not time for me to leap forward, but my limiting belief was I still have a lot to learn. I can't, I'm not the expert. But the cost is I'm underutilized, and my new beliefs, I just was jotting down some things as I was listening, and I am awake to my readiness. I am awake to my leadership. I am awake to my influence, and I am awake and aware, and I am an influencer.
Well, beautiful. Thank you. I want to tie that back into what Daniel was saying about being transparent, seeing yourself. Let the guard down on what you're willing to see about yourself. This is like a perfect opportunity to do that. There's nobody around to judge you, so you don't have to, worry about what other people are going to think if you totally own your greatness. This is a really perfect opportunity to start doing that. Become awake to who you really are. Thank you so much. All right. Well, I know we have probably others that could share. I encourage you to go to the Facebook group, Breakthrough with Gratitude, and share there. If there are any other thoughts, maybe just your new beliefs or whatever it is that you'd like to share. I invite all of you to be that person who is willing to be open instead of, shutting ourselves up and in fear, that we completely open ourselves up. This is such a perfect opportunity to do that because it's safe. It's like the safest time that we've ever been in, to be completely transparent, to be completely open, to share 100%. We as a world are getting on the same page. I can feel it. And this is an opportunity for us to just totally let go of any of those inhibitions that we've had in the past, and just be yourself, be truly authentic. If there's ever been a time in history when it's safe to do that, it's right now. Well, thank you all for being on the call today. Look forward to tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Mountain Time. We've opened up a completely, really awesome space today, so I'm excited to see what we get to learn over the week. Invite all of you to continue joining us on a daily basis. If you haven't been here live, please try coming here live, because we create this call in the moment with those who are here live, and I feel like those who are live get so much more out of it because they're the ones who help create it. So if you haven't done that, you can find out how to do that on that Facebook group, Breakthrough with Gratitude, or WileenBenson.com/gratitude. Either of those places will give you the information to join us live. Thank you, and we'll look forward to tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Mountain Time. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you, Eileen.
Hey, thanks so much for listening. And I encourage you to tune in every day to the Daily Gratitude Call. And the Daily Gratitude Call happens live every weekday morning. I'd love to have you join. So to find out how to join live, go to my website, WileenBenson.com. Thanks for tuning in.